from Clarkwoods.com. This is Horribly Off Topic, episode number 182. I'm Chris.
And I'm number 182.
You're number 182.
Wait, no. I'm Timbuk 3.
Timbuk. Wait. What did your future is so bright, right?
Is that
I think
is that their song?
I think that is your song, Steve. I think your future is so bright that you got to wear shades. Where are your shades?
I don't
Mr.
own
Timbuk 3.
I do not own sunglasses.
You do not.
No.
You don't.
Because they'd have to be prescription sunglasses. I don't have
Okay.
the ones you put on and flip down.
Oh, that's super cool. I mean, that's a thing you're.
I'm
missing
sure
out on.
that's somehow become cool. Like,
well, yeah,
you could say that it's not cool,
right.
But I'm sure there's some like hipster in Williamsburg that is fucking.
Oh, I'm sure.
Is way cool because he has the flip down.
I wasn't trying to throw shade at shades. I mean, I wasn't. I was not trying to.
Oh,
I'm not going to say it again.
Good thing.
So I wanted to start off the show with a thank you.
I'm Steve. I forgot. I'm Timbuk Steve.
Timbuk Steve. There was a song by no, it was not. It was by Kesha. Well, she was a guest on it. It was Kesha and Pitbull, and it was Timber, not Timbuk. So I thought I had something in there, but no.
I'm Steve to decide.
Oh, Steve!
What did I just do? I did it before the show, and I decided to just do
you
it.
had to do.
I have to shoehorn my name into songs.
It's really sad what you just did.
I know.
She's dead.
Yes,
Dolores. I mean, not that she was the only person in the band, but Dolores sang that song. Dolores O'Riordan of the Cranberries, and now she's gone.
Yes, that is. It's a tragic loss.
Now, was she painkillers? I just saw this article earlier today.
I saw that Tom Petty was
painkillers,
or something like that.
Yeah, that well, his family came out and sort of said like he had a lot of stuff going on, emphysema. He had a broken, was it an ankle, a shin? He had something that was fractured that he decided to go out on tour anyway, and it eventually became broken, and that was part of what was going on. And his family was very forthright and forthcoming, and it was a nice statement. And they said, they ended it by saying, like, look, he wasn't in pain. He went out peaceful after having done what he loved to do, which was do a concert. So good. But Dolores, I don't know. It's probably too early to know
I just wish his family had been Fifth Coming. Just number jokes today. It's number time.
it's number time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
I want this episode to be called It's Number Time.
That's a pretty good one. I got to write that down. So I before you decided to tell us who you were, because you had forgotten.
I wanted to depress you.
Yeah. and mission accomplished.
So fresh and so Steve.
I had a girlfriend. Who
told me something and something about, I don't know.
I think those guys are still alive.
Oh, cool.
No. I had a girlfriend who
something and something. Oh wait, I don't know the words.
I had a girlfriend who looked like a boyfriend. You had a boyfriend, looked like a girlfriend who left me in December of last year, something like that.
February
of last year. If it's no consolation, something.
I've got crustacean.
That's bad. Have you gotten that checked? You should not have crustaceans after messing with your boyfriend / girlfriend.
What?
I
had a girlfriend.
I had a girlfriend who, when I made her a mixtape for our first date, we'd been. I mean,
you made it for her for the first date.
Okay. Let me begin by saying we have been hanging out a whole bunch before then. We were obviously into each other. This was in high school, or at least it seemed like we were into each other. And so then we had our first official date, right? So that for that first official date, which I wanted to go really well, I made a mixtape, as you do in the 1990s.
And then it got stuck in your tape player?
No. But it did have a song by the Cranberries on it from as I recall, from the Woodstock '94
with their tanks and their bombs. No.
Not that one.
Oh.
It had a song by the Cranberries, and the said girlfriend, decided to tell me that she hit fast forward because she said that Dolores sounded like a sheep.
Oh.
Which is very, very sad. I mean, that's how you know that relationship wasn't meant to last.
Oh, because she didn't like a thing that
I
you
don't
liked.
know. There were lots of other reasons, like, she was rebounding with me when she...
What is this, basketball?
No. I just think, she was supposed to be with somebody else, and she decided to hang out with me for a little while, and then she went back to somebody that she was going to be with, and she married him. So, I think that's probably why it wasn't.
You do realize you have a wife and everything is okay.
I know. No, that's what I'm saying.
You look like you're welling up.
I did not mean to look like I was welling up. But Dolores, that's what making me well up. I'm just sad about
Dolores!
about the fact that nobody can appreciate the unique talents of.
Oh wait, you've never watched Seinfeld. You didn't know what I was.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There was an episode of Seinfeld where Jerry was dating somebody, but he didn't know what her name was, and at some point, I don't know if like
Dolores. Okay. Yeah, and it was in...
No, I'm just trying to think of, like, did he tell her that he didn't know her name? Or like, no, I think it just came up in conversation that her name rhymes with a part of the female anatomy.
Okay.
And so... Like, he's telling George about it, and George is like, what is her name? Like, Mulva? And then, it comes out at the end of the episode that he doesn't know her name, and then she leaves, and as she's leaving, he goes out the window, and he's like, Dolores!
Oh.
Because he figured it out.
I believe Dolores was actually Lolita's name, wasn't it? I think she was Dolores. No. Somebody was Dolores in Lolita, weren't they?
I've never read the book, and I've only watched the film once.
I've read the book. I've never seen the film. But I think she was like Dolores. She was like Dot and Socks and Lola, and I don't know. Maybe Dolores was somebody else. I would love somebody to send us an angry email right now, because I'm getting this wrong, and I'm supposed to be the English teacher.
Yes.
Start teaching this week. I should know. Lolita in Socks.
Uh-oh. Dude.
Where's the beginning of the...
Don't search for that on my fucking network.
Nabokov in Socks. There's the title for you. Nabokov in Socks. Yeah, I can't find it.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Did you find it?
Did I find it? Let's see.
This is really interesting.
This is very... Okay, here we go. Lolita, light of my life, fire of my loins, my sin, my soul, Lolita. The tip of the tongue taking a trip 3 steps down the palate to tap at 3 on the teeth, Lolita. She was low, plain low, in the morning, standing 4 feet 10 in one sock. She was Lola in slacks. She was Dolly at school. She was Dolores on the dotted line. But in my arms, she was always Lolita.
Okay.
I just needed to confirm that was the case. She was Dolores.
I hope that like your students don't like tune into this one first.
To this one, yeah. No, I have a fear, Steve, that one of my former students may have tuned into the show or tuned into something that I've done, because that former student is no longer following me on Twitter. Now I know that Twitter,
maybe because of Sex Toilet last week.
Maybe. I don't know when they stopped following me. And it may be that it's one of my longtime Twitter friends is having this problem right now, where she is seeing that her account has unfollowed somebody that she knows in real life, that she is actually really good friends with. So it may be accidental, but I am a little afraid that some of my students and some of my folks who know...
We're gonna keep on doing the show, right?
Yeah, no, I just
don't scare me.
No, I'm just sad that people like... I know that I get a little out of hand with the toilet talk. And
literally.
And I just hope that people understand that it's not all a bit. I mean, I think it's a bit, but I'm just a pent up silly guy who at the end of the week That's usually when we're recording this. I just got to let a little bit of steam off, and I happen to do it on a podcast instead of at a bar.
Yeah,
and maybe that's a bad thing, but I'm just going to keep on doing it.
We do on occasion have drinks. On the show.
But the last couple weeks it's just been water.
Maybe
I should start drinking again.
Have you not been?
I mean, start drinking again on the show.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Am I better or worse when I'm drinking on the show?
That is completely subjective. I think there's been shows where you've drank and you've been rather entertaining, and there's been shows that you drank that we talked about American Pie 2 for an entire episode.
that has happened. That has happened. Anyway, we got way horribly off topic there. I wanted to start the show. Now we're almost 11 minutes in. I wanted to start the show by thanking a listener.
Oh,
by thanking a listener, Gina, you friend of the show.
Yes. She was over the other night, and she remembered you saying that you had the Cards Against Humanity. And
I do.
And she doesn't, but she got some free cards at PAX this past year, and she brought them over when we had some D&D, and so she's give those to Chris.
These are neat. And I know I've been threatening for ages we should play Cards Against Humanity on the show, and so
I don't know, like, would that be really entertaining?
No.
Okay.
But we've got one black card and
just
5...
like it's not really that fun to play Cards Against Humanity.
Hey! I had a blast playing Cards Against Humanity with a friend of the show, Rob, my brother John, and my dad. Now, you're like, my dad didn't really know what he was doing at the beginning, and then just realized he could just be himself and put down the most offensive.
He was just like AIDS. Well, that's basically what I described Cards Against Humanity as when it first came
AIDS?
out. No, it was apples to apples, where every card is AIDS.
It's not. It can be a lot of fun with the right group of people. I think if it's a group of people that you know, or at least you feel comfortable around, and you know their sense of humor, I think it can be it can be a fun game.
Okay.
Because there were certainly combinations that I didn't play because I knew the people in the room, and I was just like, that's a little too dark, or that is not going to land funny. It's, in a way, it's like being a stand-up comedian, Steve. It's about knowing your audience.
Yeah, I never knew my audience.
All right. Well, so I've been threatening.
Actually, I had a couple of good sets. I mean, like the set that I had at the Players Ring was good, and like the couple of the other ones that I had were all right.
Yeah. You've had 182 sets here on the podcast, and some of them have been darn tootin'.
But like did I talk about that really bad set that I had? Like,
I don't know. You should talk about it again.
There was two of them that were just abysmal.
That were number 2. 2 of them that were number 2.
Yeah, they were really bad. Like, I just, because I was like, I wanted like mic time, and like getting into an open mic was difficult.
Right.
And it was just like, I can't even like give this shit away.
Yeah.
And so like, when I'd have an opportunity, like there would be open mics where it would be music/comedy. And I would go drive, like, I went to Dover, New Hampshire, not Delaware. I went to Dover, New Hampshire.
You should go to Delaware. You might be the funniest guy in Dover, Delaware.
I might be, or the only person there. Hey, so I'm in Delaware, huh?
You went to one in Dover.
Yeah, and so I was up there, and it was just like, I think it was called Castaways.
Okay.
If anybody get local for
Dover, New Hampshire,
for like slightly north of Seacoast, New Hampshire, so it was just like a sort of Gilligan's Island, I guess, of themed. It didn't have like Gilligan's Island shit there, but it was like.
Was there anybody wearing coconuts serving drinks?
Yes, there was just. But they were older women, so they were just hanging down.
Got it. Okay.
Over their saggy boobs is what I was getting at.
People who watched Gilligan's Island not in reruns.
Yeah,
where the wait staff wearing the coconuts.
No, but I had a couple of beers and a burger at the bar. There's a little bit of alliteration there.
Yeah, that was well done. Was the burger well done?
No, I try it.
Sometimes I gotta let those go.
Medium well is my burger choice. My steak would be medium.
Okay.
I don't like it too raw, but
Yeah.
like as far as steak goes. But I don't want it burnt.
Yeah.
But for hamburger, I want it a little bit more cooked
Yeah.
because it could be more than one cow. And I'm not. You laugh, but like
No. I now I'm like, maybe I should get my burgers better cooked.
What do you get your burgers cooked?
Medium.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. I do medium on all red meat.
Okay.
Yeah. I somebody told me to do that once, and I liked the taste of it, so I kept doing it.
So yeah, I got up on there and I was just, I mean, you saw some of my set. It was a lot of similar things.
Yeah.
I was just, everything went just nothing. Crickets, every single joke except for one guy. And he kind of looked like Larry Fine.
Okay.
And I did not want to go to the crowd and make fun of him, the one guy that was giving me anything. Right. I didn't want to be like, "Hey, where's your fucking friends, Curly and Shemp?" Or wait.
Well, I guess were there any episodes that were Curly, Shemp, and Larry?
No, because Curly died and then Shemp took over.
Well, Curly had like a aneurysm or like a something. Right, well, he was still around, but
he was still around for maybe like one or two of those shorts, but he was dead after that.
Wow, that's easy.
The Howard family.
He was the Dolores of the Howard family.
Yeah, and then Shemp died,
and then they had Curly Joe.
Yeah, and then they just had Joe.
Yeah, or
and then
vice versa.
Oh wait,
no, maybe they had Joe first and then Curly Joe.
Joe Besser, and I don't even know
who the fuck. No, we do other things on New Year's Eve rather than watch fucking Three Stooges marathon.
What if so? What the fuck was I? Oh yeah,
you were doing
like if someone's old that listens, like tell us what the Stooges like. Yeah. It's weird like that Mo and Larry made it through all of it, but like except for they just kept on losing their third guy.
Yuck.
So yeah, it was a really bad set, and I just like I was just driving home, and it was fucking terrible.
Yeah,
it was such a long drive home. It was
from
like,
Dover.
Yeah, it was when I was living in up in Hudson, but like
that's still a long ass drive. You got to go along. Did you go along probably 101?
I think
the long and lonely highway called Route 101.
Yes.
Yeah. Long and lonesome highway. I'm sorry.
It was a pretty bummer ride home, and I was just like, blah.
Yeah, it sucks. That I've done theater, as everyone who's listened to the show for a long time. I've done theater out in Portsmouth, and when you have a bad show or a bad rehearsal, and a lot of the time I was living in Merrimack, that stretch, Merrimack, New Hampshire, that stretch of 101, which is an east-west highway in New Hampshire with no lights, like no overhead lights. It's just dark.
It's just a dark.
And sometimes there's no one else out there, so it's like mile after mile of like it might be the fucking apocalypse, and you are the only person left on the planet, and you just had a horrible set, and so you know that you're not even going to be able to make yourself laugh.
Yeah.
Because you're not funny.
The other one, at least, wasn't that far away from where I lived. It was like, I forget, it was a dive in Hudson.
Yeah.
It was across the street from where the Hannafords is in Hudson.
Okay.
So yeah, I did my set, and it didn't go as badly. I could hear a couple of people laughing.
Right, yeah.
Because it was pretty crowded, but a lot of people were just fucking staring at me. And I was just like, I'm like, nothing? Like, and it sucked because like, and they're like, well, like the being brought up is like, well, next guy up is Steve, and I guess he's gonna tell some jokes for you. So here he is.
Do you think how much of that is that like, it's easier to get into those open mics that allow everyone in, but really those open mics that allow everyone in are really just expecting musicians.
Yeah, I mean that's basically it, because when I go to some place, and this is a lot of different places, and there's a band, I'll be like, ugh, and I want to get out of there, because I like, if I go to a place, I want to like usually chat with the people I'm with,
right.
And if there's a fucking really loud band, I'll be like, this sucks, let's try to find another place.
Or a DJ.
Oh yeah, so if there's like an open mic, it's probably going to be a band, and I probably wouldn't want to be there. But if someone is aware, like if there's a comedy open mic at a certain location, then people know that what they're in for, and if they see like fucking comedy whatever,
right?
And like the place that I was that I did I think it was the Shaskeen up in Manchester. Like they have like a room in the back where they have the comedy, and they have like the room up front where people can just sit and chat and drink and whatever.
Yeah.
And so that was specifically for comedy, and it was like a free show, and people could just go and like they knew what they were getting into. And so like the one time I performed there, I did really well because people were expecting jokes.
Like the time you did the thing at the Ring was a comedy show. It was not like a comedy, some monologues, a fucking guitar player. It was comedy. So people knew what they were in for.
Well, what's his butt? Sam.
Oh, Sam probably had.
He did have his guitar.
Yeah. Well, Sam is special. He can have a guitar, but it was like a comedy guitar. It was
Yeah.
You knew what I meant. Was it so? There was a question that came in there in my mind.
Oh,
was it harder? You mentioned when you had an easier time getting into the sort of combined anything goes open mics than the comedy open mics. If you were doing comedy open mics, was it just that there were too many people there, or you had to audition and they didn't like your stuff, or what?
No. It's just it was the I don't know. You just needed to be buddy with like a lot of the local comedians, and Alana she liked me, so she put me on a lot of her shows, and so she let me go on at least once a month or whatever in one of her venues. So that was an in that I had, but like up in Manchester, I got on once and did really well, and I was like really hoping they would ask me back, and they never did, and it was just fucking ugh. Yeah, and that's what I was just like, that like it wasn't like the fucking trip to Dover or that fucking shithole in Hudson.
Yeah.
That broke my spirit. It was just hey, can I please just say jokes at people for free?
Right. And they didn't want to take you.
Yeah.
The reason I asked that question is I've done the open mic at the poetry open mic wherever the fuck that is in Cambridge. And
whoa, man!
And if you, I was just saying, if you don't get there very early, they run out of spots for.
I did an open mic at the Middle East in Cambridge, right up the street from where I work now.
Yeah,
I did one there, and I got there super early.
Yeah,
and they put me on at like 11:30. I was like, you fucks.
Make you sit there for what, like
3 hours.
3 hours, yeah. Yeah, it's...
And like, I followed this guy that was all setups. Mm-hmm. He would just say a thought, and then he would not say anything more. It made me laugh a couple of times, but I was just like, it was more...
That was all he had.
It was more aggravating than anything else. Yeah. I would be like, say something, and God damn it. Alternative comedy, fuck you.
Well, you're a good judge of comedy. Let me read you a joke.
Okay.
All right. So I got the Cards Against Humanity things here, and the way that it would work is that there'd be a black card, right? And it's usually got a blank in it, right? Mm-hmm. And then there would be white cards. So let's imagine we have 5 white cards. There are 5 people around this table right now who've just been really silent this whole time. Maybe there's 4, and then there's me.
Right.
And you are going to be the judge. I'm going to read this out loud, and you are going to tell me which is the funniest combination.
Okay.
All right. Unfortunately, Neo, no one can be told what con is. You have to see for yourself.
You're saying it right. You have to shatter and right. Back off the mic and be like,
okay, ready.
Con!
Okay. So yes, okay. Unfortunately, Neo, no one can be told what demons and shit are. You have to see it for yourself.
This is like, I'm already annoyed by this game. We're not even playing it.
Unfortunately, we are playing it. We're playing
okay.
Right. Unfortunately, Neo, no one can be told whatever Final Fantasy bullshit happened this year is. You have to see for yourself.
Oh, Final Fantasy 15?
Unfortunately,
That your brother? Oh wait, I don't want to throw him under the bus.
Don't throw him. Yeah. Unfortunately, Neo, no one can be told what taking 2d6 emotional damage is. You have to see for yourself. And last one. Unfortunately, Neo, no one can be told what separate drinking fountains for dark elves are. You have to see them for yourself.
That one's racist. I would say the taking 2D.
I think I'm right there with you. That was mine. These other people aren't funny. No, I like. I mean, as wrong as it is, I think the separate drinking fountains for dark elves is pretty funny. And that's the case of where you'd have to know who your audience is. Would they all be so uncomfortable along with you that was a joke, and they'd go,
"That's the joke."
Or would they be more prone to go with the 2d6 emotional damage? So there's a bit of strategy in the game too.
We've been watching a lot of comedians in cars getting coffee.
Oh, you like that Jerry Seinfeld?
I do like that Jerry Seinfeld.
He's the schmuck. I don't know.
I don't think so. I think he's very funny. And
somebody just paused the podcast to write an angry email because I said Jerry Seinfeld is a schmuck.
He's not a schmuck.
Yeah, he's a schmuck.
He's a. I think he's like, you should, if not watching Seinfeld, watch like Comedian, like the documentary. Mm-hmm. It goes along with Jerry because he never stopped doing stand up. He still does it today.
I'm just kidding. I don't think he's a schmuck at all. Okay. I need to get that out.
And he manages to do a good job doing comedy, mm-hmm. Without being overtly dirty or use a lot of curse words and whatnot. Mm-hmm. I think he occasionally will say shit or something in the show. Yeah. But he's not saying something dirty, and he does a good job. But the thing,
I like the concept of comedians in cars getting coffee, and I like him as I haven't watched any.
There's a couple of them that have been really great, and there's a couple of them that have just been
I feel like he bounces off. I mean, one of the things in the little bit of Seinfeld that I've seen is that he makes other people look even better, and so
if they're being good,
and so I think that's why he would be good for a show like that.
Yeah, there was one that I think one of the more recent ones we watched was Howard Stern, and okay. I forgot how nuts that guy is, and he is I guess I haven't listened to him in a very long time, so I don't know if his show is what it's like anymore. But holy shit. That guy, all he does is talk about himself.
Yeah.
And how great he is. That is not something that I find entertaining.
No. You mean on his show, or that's what he was doing?
He was doing in the Comedians in Cars. And he's just... people that are really full of themselves, I'm just
You think his whole shtick seemed to be that pretends like he's so full of himself, but he's insecure. And I wonder now if the act has become the actual personality.
I don't even know, but he keeps on talking about his therapist, but he's like, oh, I'm the greatest. I fucking invented fucking shock jockery, and I'm like, fuck you. I'm done.
Yeah.
I even got burnt out with O&A. I mean, mm-hmm. I think they got burnt out with themselves too. With themselves, yeah. Because they, Anthony got fired, and then Opie and Jim fucking fell apart, and now Opie's gone, and now it's Jim and fucking Sam, that I remember early on in the show, fucking being an intern.
Yeah.
Just running around with his fucking camera.
I can't imagine Jim carrying a show, but it's been ages. It's been decades.
Jim Norton, I think he's gotten better over the years.
Yeah. I'm not saying Jim isn't funny, and I'm not saying Jim wasn't an extremely interesting contributor when I listened. It's just I can't imagine him being the host.
Yeah, well, I think Sam takes the more Opie role of driving the show, and then Jim is sort of just the Anthony role of being funny.
Got it. Okay. All right. Well, I can see him doing that. Well. So you mentioned you've been watching a lot of comedians in cars getting coffee.
They show a lot of
wasn't good, but what was a good one?
Actually, Will Ferrell. He was actually really funny in his.
I think that just goes to show what a good comedian Seinfeld is, that he could make Will Ferrell funny.
And there was what was it? Kevin Hart. He was really good in his. Mm-hmm. I'd say Aziz Ansari was good in his. But Jesus fucking Christ!
I don't know if we're allowed to say that anymore.
I'm done. I'm done. I can't fucking like every comedian ever apparently. So I'm still gonna like the comedians that I like. Fuck you. All right, world.
Just
I still think Louis C.K. is one of the funniest people on the fucking planet. Eat shit, everyone.
I can't keep up. Like I don't know. Yeah, I can't keep up with all of the terrible shit. Like it's just everybody's done terrible shit.
George Carlin, one of the funniest people ever. He was a drunk and he fucking was bad to his wife, like his first wife, and so fucking he's not a great person, but he's fucking hilarious. So he got better over time. He fucking there wasn't this fucking media age where like everybody just fucking destroys somebody. Like he did bad things, and I guess some people were aware of it, some people weren't.
Yeah.
And then he stopped being a shithead to his wife, and he stopped drinking, and then he still did comedy, and he still was brilliant.
Right.
He got a chance to fucking be better. Like give people a chance to be better, motherfuckers.
Well, that's what the country did when they elected.
Fuck you.
They're just giving him a chance to be better, Steve.
We've given him plenty of chance.
It's been a whole...
And every time he disappoints.
Every year we've given him a whole year to be better. But no.
I'm talking about people that actually are like sorry when they do bad things.
Oh,
I'm not talking about somebody who's a sociopath.
Well, some people can't see a sociopath when he's right in front of them, wearing a red hat. It's the red hat that does it. Certain parts of our country, they just see the red hat and they say, "Oh, anybody wearing a red hat, he can't be a bad guy. He's got a red hat on."
Why are they always Southern?
Why are they always Southern?
Why are dumb people always Southern?
I don't know, Steve. It's a thing. It happens.
Yeah.
The people that we know that live down south are originally from up here, right? Like we're not in trouble of alienating.
I don't think that anybody, like even if they weren't, they would give a shit. Because I remember. Listen, I think it was Bill Burr's podcast. He was like, why? He's like, why is it whenever I talk about somebody who's dumb, I always put on a Southern drawl?
Yes. Well, I when I read to. Confession time.
Oh.
When I read the Sneetches to the kids, the Sneetches and Other Stories by Dr. Seuss, and I get to the two different kinds of Sneetches, the ones who parade about with their snoots in the air, they always have a British accent, and all the ones who are who start off without the bellies on their stars on their bellies, they have the Southern accent. That's and it's just because those are the two accents that I can do terribly, but are separate enough that and then in the next story, the Zacks, the north-going Zacks, always had, which doesn't make any sense when I really step back and think about it. Always has the British accent, and the south-going Zacks always has the southern accent. I don't know why
mix it up. Do it like do some sort of Pakistani accent or something like that.
I don't think that's a good idea, Steve.
Why?
I don't know what
it has to be white people that you do an accent.
Well, yes, because white people are the dumbest people on the planet.
You could do Canadian accent. Just say sorry a bunch.
Sorry. What are you talking about? That's it.
You're not good at it.
I can't do it. But I can talk.
No, you can't.
Oh man, maybe it's good that I'm missing bedtime tonight because I don't have to give my dumb accents. We haven't been reading Dr. Seuss much. We've been reading Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls. That's what and Harry Potter. But
what's Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls?
Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls is this. There's 2 volumes of it out now. And
in the midnight hour. Oh, that's Rebel Yell.
I want rebel girls. No, it's a 2-volume collection at this point. And then maybe they'll do a 3rd one. where it's a one-page biography of some woman who's done something amazing in history, plus an illustration on the opposite side. So we read about everyone from there was a pirate to queens.
Jewelry Bonnie?
We read about pirates and queens and the women who were the subject of Hidden Figures, that movie about the
Yeah, I know.
yeah. So and Melody loves it. If Kaylee's in there, she tends to be goofing off because she gets a later bedtime. But Melody, my younger daughter, really digs it, and it's a good series. So, but I don't do voices for that one.
Probably the best.
Probably for the best.
You know what?
I didn't do
this
voices.
is my lady voice.
I didn't do voices on. Oh wait, I'm skipping ahead. We had a couple of things to talk about here, and I was skipping ahead to what I did yesterday or this week. But you had a foot.
Yeah, I do it.
You had a foot.
I have a foot.
You had a foot.
I have a foot in it, but it just. I was. Becky was out on Tuesday, so I was making myself pasta because
Tuesday is loser.
Yes,
I've heard.
Fucking A. This doubles down on that. I was making some pasta, and I sort of moved the pan with a little bit too much of a flourish, and there was too much in it, and it landed a little bit, blooped out, and landed right on my fucking foot.
Right on your penis. That's what it looked like you were. I
wasn't sitting down.
No, but the way that you just did that, the people who are listening can't see it.
I just I saw what happened,
and I motion.
I humped in the air so it would hit my cock instead of my foot.
No, the motion you made could have because you're sitting now. I'm looking ahead. You made a motion, and it just as easily could have been the water landing on your dick. And I'm glad that it wasn't.
It did not land on my dick. It landed on my fucking right foot. Yeah. And I immediately, I had my socks on, and I immediately ripped it off, and then with it came a bunch of skin.
Oh God. I can't. It makes me really uncomfortable.
So yeah, then I went in and put it under the water in the tub, and like some cold water, and I texted Becky, and she was getting her hair done. That's why she wasn't home.
She was getting her hair did.
Yeah, and I knew there was a Rite Aid right next to where she was getting her hair done.
Yeah,
and so I was just like, hey. Can you? I just burnt my foot. Can you get me like some burn cream and Band-Aids or whatever?
Yeah.
It's like, you burnt your foot? Are you okay? The hospital? I'm like, no, I'm down. I need to go to the hospital.
Right. Oh, that's so.
Is this a guy? It's about maybe.
So it's like a dollar, like a dollar coin.
Yeah, a dollar coin size.
Coin. Yeah.
Like lack of skin on my foot.
Did you get to eat? Eventually,
yeah, I did.
I was gonna say maybe because that one might put me off of even wanting to have my pasta.
It was funny because it was painful, but I patched myself up as best I could before Becky got home, and with the supplies, we had a couple of big Band-Aids, so I put one on. But then after she got home, I washed it again. And put on some of it was the Neosporin that has like the burn relief shit on it. Mm-hmm. So I got that and I put that on. It was better. Mm-hmm. It actually hurts more now because I think it's starting to scab over. So yeah, but I was sitting on the couch and I was just kind of flicking through YouTube and I saw, what was it, Polygon? It was Griffin. McElroy, I think he does.
Is he one of the
D&D podcast? I think he does.
Yeah, and is he like one of the McBam Bam something McElroys? I feel like that's a podcast.
Yeah, there's a couple of them, and Griffin, he was playing L.A. Noire, like the Rockstar game from a number of years back, but they've re-released it on the new consoles, the Switch and the PS4, etc. And the PS4 version, I guess you can do like a VR. You can put the VR thing on, and he was playing that, and it was just like that fucking video. And I'm not gonna like quote it and butcher like how fucking funny it was. But
Yeah.
like, thank God for that video. Like, we could watch it. It's only about 15 minutes. We could watch it after the show so you can know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Okay.
But it was just fucking bonkers how much I was laughing at, like.
And that
laughter
is the best medicine.
I'll say the one thing, because it's not like I'm butchering anything that he actually said, but like, you know, you are doing this from a first person's perspective, and
right.
like, so basically, I think you have like two controllers that in your hands that are making your hands do the things that you need to do.
Yeah.
And he was driving, and then he just crashes the car because he doesn't know how to fucking drive with this fucking like interface, and then he puts on the siren, and then. Like the guy who's doing the video with him asks him to roll the window down, and he rolls it down. Then he takes off his hat, and he drops it out the window. And I don't know why, but this fucking action made me laugh to the point where I could almost not breathe.
Oh, well, that's good. Laughter is the best medicine.
Yes, it did make me forget about my very sore foot for a short while.
Well, that's good. My feet were sore yesterday for a completely different reason.
Oh, did you shove them up someone's ass?
I thought about it. No, that was the person on the way over here who was shining their fucking high beams at me. I hate headlights.
Like behind you?
Yeah. You know, who knows if they're even their high beams? It's just everything seems like a high beam when you're in my car, which is little. I mean, you have the same kind of car as mine. It's
I have the exact same car as you.
Anyway,
only a model year newer is mine.
Yeah. Yesterday, Saturday. I and my family went to Cambridge, Massachusetts. We parked at my work. I showed the kids my office because they'd never seen that, and then we were going to go for a walk. And as we're walking from where I work towards Harvard Square, we start to see a lot of people with signs, and then we start to see a lot of people with pink hats. With pink hats with two sort of peaks on them, if you will, and we're like, what's going on? So I very quickly, actually, I was gonna look on my phone. I was like, nah, what the hell? We're just gonna go get ourselves some lunch. And
where'd you go to lunch?
Oh my god, this was probably the saddest part of the goddamn day. Of all the fucking places we could have gone to in Harvard Square, my kids wanted to go to the Subway. In the garage. That's what they wanted. They wanted fucking Subway. And so I was...
There's a fucking, like... there's a Shake Shack on the other side.
They didn't care. They were like, those
are some of the best fucking burgers ever.
I know. There was the Tasty Burger or whatever is there too. That's not bad either.
Fuck Tasty Burger. Tasty Burger can eat its shit.
I have Tasty Burger usually like once a week. I like Tasty Burger.
Once a week? Go to fucking...
Shake Shack is way more expensive.
Yeah, because it's way more
burger.
Better.
It's for way less burger. They might as well be giving you about half of...
yeah, but you eat less, and it's better, and you feel better about yourself.
Okay. I don't want to feel better about myself when I'm having
You want to just gorge yourself on a giant burger?
Yes, because the rest of the week I'm eating healthy, and I'm getting plenty of exercise, and when I'm going to have my burger, I'm going to have my fucking greasy ass... big burger with bacon and onion strings and barbecue sauce. Oh, it's so good. I want one right now. But my kids wanted Subway, so we went up into the garage. The garage is the name of it's not a mall.
Is there something in Subway that makes kids attracted to it? Is that why
they know what they?
Is that why Jared was so successful?
God. They wanted Subway, so we went up into the garage, which also has a Ben & Jerry's. I almost skipped lunch altogether just to go over and have some fucking Ben & Jerry's because I was so depressed about having to eat Subway for lunch. But that was the point at which there are TVs in this sort of food courty area there in between. There's actually, I don't eat Indian food, but it looks like a pretty decent Indian food place. That's also right next to Ben & Jerry's and Subway. I was like, we could go eat Indian food. We could go downstairs to fucking Tasty Burger. We could go across the street to Shake Shack. We could just have Ben & Jerry's for... we're going to have...
You could go to Subway. Grendel's Den and have a couple of pops. Oh, wait, no.
At any rate, so on the TV, I see there's something about a women's march. And I was like, Oh, that's what all of the pink cats were about.
Were they going to the Common, or
they were going to the Common? It's Cambridge. Now,
no. I'm the Common I was talking about was Boston Common.
There might have been one over at Boston Common, but there was a big one at Cambridge Common too, I think. Because these were people getting off the subway and heading towards.
I like Cambridge Uncommon.
Yeah.
Or Cambridge Rare.
Am I supposed to drink? I don't know.
I'm talking about fucking I
don't know.
Rarities of things. I think that's what they were. The magic cards. It was common, uncommon, and rare, and then there was like the mythic rare. I think was the ones where there were orange instead of gold.
They do that with fucking like Shopkins and that kind of bullshit now. They've got rares and super rares and ugh. Anyway, so we
Sugo rares.
We ate at Subway. Medium rares. They've got those too. But not at Subway.
The only time I will eat Subway is if I'm hungry and there's nothing else. If I'm in Harvard Square, like that is the last place I'm going. And truth be told, I don't know why it fucking exists there. Like with all the other fucking good places to eat around there are.
Because people want something simple on their
what is it, Mr.
Break.
Bartleby's or Bartleby's?
They do it. They have
like wicked good milkshakes. Kids like milkshakes, right?
Before I decided to start bringing my own lunches again, Subway was my regular go-to because I could get a cheap meal that was relatively healthy.
And you could eat fresh.
I could eat fresh. They do a steady trade. They're always busy. So anyway, well, so we went into Cambridge in theory to take a walk. Now we had convinced the children to take a walk by mentioning the garment district. We're like,
you're gonna walk all the way to Kendall?
Here's the thing. So I just floated. I was like, look, we can go. Mommy and I want to take a walk. We'll start in Harvard Square where there's places to shop, and then we'll go take a walk. So there was is it Petali? Like Petali Flowers, which also has...
Mario Batali? Oh, wait, he's fucked too.
Oh, they have a Harry Potter section, so we went over there and we're like, all right, well, we've done one thing of shopping, let's go take a walk. So we started walking along Charles, and we keep walking, and Kaylee's like, when are we going to get to go to that store? And I look at my map, I'm like, yeah, we can walk there. And so we do. So we walk all the way along the river, the long way around the bend in the river, and then make it to the what fucking bridge is that? I don't know.
Over by MIT?
The bridge over by MIT, and then finally we decide to start heading back into the city proper and head towards the garment district, which is where we end, and our feet are all fucking sore by this point. Even me, who's used to going on really ridiculously long walks. And the kids are thrilled for a second, but then they realize how small... Well, Melody at least realizes how small the kids section is, and she's bored in a matter of like 5 or 10 minutes. Kaylee, however, found plenty of stuff she wanted to shop. She wanted to keep shopping, and eventually we had to drag her out.
The only thing I've ever bought from there was a shirt. It was a T-shirt, and it said Onion Heads on it. And it had these onions on it, and there were all these cool onions with sunglasses on. I bought that shirt, and I think it was a couple years ago. We were at your house, and I think your father was finally getting rid of John's old car, the Celebrity.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And we were looking in the trunk, and my old swim trunks and that Onion Head shirt were in his trunk.
Why were they in his trunk?
Because that was the shirt I was wearing along with my my swimming trunks when I jumped into the rock quarries in Westford. Oh. And so I probably changed behind his car and threw my wet clothes into his trunk. And it never made it out.
I was going to say, are those the clothes you were wearing when you heisted the donuts and you just needed to get rid of them because you might have been caught?
This was pre that.
Pre-donuts.
This was in high school still, I think, or maybe the summer after high school.
Okay. Steve, we got about 11 minutes left in the show here, and we haven't even talked about the main topic of the show this week, which you sent me earlier in the week, and this was a question, a conundrum that you posed to me, and I think we should talk about it.
Well, somebody that I work with, we were talking about something, and then someone brought up Old MacDonald.
Old MacDonald, he had a farm.
So
E-I-E-I-O.
That was the part of the song, or that little tune ditty,
it's a children's song, innocent
little song that bothered me was it takes place in the past tense. Old MacDonald had a farm, he had a horse, he had a pig, he had a whatever.
Yeah,
he doesn't. So what I'm assuming,
holy fuck, Steve, you're blowing my brain here.
Old MacDonald no longer has his farm. So I was like, just
you're right. I mean, it's not like Old MacDonald has a farm.
Yeah.
E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he has a pig. I mean, it's not like that fucks up the meter of the song. It could be has a farm.
Yeah, it could easily be has, but the
songwriter
said had a farm.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is big. So
was it big government that took away his fucking farm?
There's a guy on the side of the road when I drive here. He has a big old sign who talks about big government fucking up his farm. I mean, it's pretty close to my house. It's just close to the start of the journey.
Well, he got his guy in the White House.
Fucking Old MacDonald.
Well, no, he's still
fucking Old MacDonald lives in Chelmsford. I think this is what's happening. He had a farm. Now he has a big old fucking sign up there.
Yeah, but I want to know what happened to Old MacDonald. Like, did he die?
Big fucking government.
Was it the government?
I think he has to sell off his farm
because they
government regulations.
Government regulations.
I mean, what do you imagine? They made him.
I imagine that like any sort of farmer would probably have more problem with any sort of local regulations than any national regulations.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
in fact, there's
the big bad men of Massachusetts. They made it so that your chickens actually have to have enough room to turn around in their cages, right? I mean, like that shit that could put a farmer down.
Yeah, I know. Right? I mean, you can't produce as many eggs, and
yeah.
With all these eggs that they're getting from foreign countries, like and
we got to produce American, Steve. Fuck foreign eggs. We need to reduce our reliance on foreign eggs.
Yes. So go and get some eggs at your local farm if they still exist. So,
but you'd think that would help Old MacDonald, but somewhere in there, our government got
who wrote things, that fucking song?
Somewhere in there, our government got things all kinds of fucked up, and now Old MacDonald, in our quest to reduce our reliance on foreign eggs, Old MacDonald now is getting screwed. Somehow, Old MacDonald's got the problem. He had a farm, he had a pig. It's not that he did something with the pig, was it? I mean, Old MacDonald wasn't in... Oh, wait. Are we talking biblical had, Steve?
Okay.
Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O.
Hold on. Old
MacDonald.
You don't need to say the whole... Dude.
Had a pig. He had a pig in the way that, like...
wow.
In the Bible, somebody had so-and-so, right? I mean, like, we're talking biblical here. I think, oh my God, Old MacDonald and bestiality. It's something I never really thought about. And that's why his farm got shut down.
In the 1917 book Tommy's Tunes, a collection of World War I era songs by F.T. Nettlingham. The song Ohio, blah, blah, blah.
Old MacDonald was Nettlingham.
The song Ohio has quite similar lyrics, though, with a slightly different farmer's name and refrain. Old MacDonald had a farm in Ohio.
I guess they don't like pig fucking in Ohio.
Yeah, it doesn't say. I'm not even gonna acknowledge that with a fucking response.
No, I think there's something happening here with the had.
So like what was happening in 1917?
That got Old MacDonald
1918. The Titanic and the Red Sox last winning the World Series prior to 2004.
Titanic was not 1918.
I thought it was.
I think it's 1917, 1914, 1912. April 14th, 1912.
What the fuck? Was it?
1918 is Spanish flu and the Red Sox World Series.
Spanish flu.
Spanish flu epidemic. As chronicled in one of my mentor's books.
Tit and ick.
Tit and tat.
1912, you're right.
April 14th?
April 12th?
No, right.
No, April 15th.
It sure didn't like hit the iceberg on April 14th and it sank on April 15th.
I don't know if it hit the iceberg.
Yeah. There was enough room. I'm just saying. There was enough room. That's fucking Rose was hogging that board. She just wanted to cap.
I never saw the fucking movie.
What the fuck happened to Old MacDonald? That's what I want. I feel
Maybe
bad.
he died of the flu, the epic flu.
Oh, so it's like a Ring Around the Rosie type thing where like Old MacDonald had all this stuff, but then coughed, dead.
Yeah, dead. Old MacDonald had a farm. With here and a buried in the ground here, there.
Yeah.
How do you make the sound of shoveling dirt?
With a shovel here and a shovel there. Here,
Pat, drop a rose everywhere. There's a dead farmer.
Steve, maybe we did stretch it out for too long. Before the show, you were like, I think we maybe got 5 minutes on that. And I was like, I think we got 11. I think we got...
you
well, we got like a few minutes left here, and it's just enough time to ask the question that we used to ask all the time, which is, how did the Patriots cheat this? I mean, how did the Patriots win this week?
Yeah, so we were watching, Becky and I were watching, we had just finished cleaning up, and we're kind of just watching the game a bit. The Patriots were losing 17 to 10 at that point, and we're like, fuck this, so we turned it off.
Yeah. Was that like at the half?
It was actually at the end of the third quarter.
Oh, okay.
So we're into the fourth quarter, and I think Brady had just thrown a pick, and I was like, fuck this. And I turned it off, just like during the Super Bowl when we were like assured that they were gonna fucking lose. So we drove from Amesbury back to home when we were still living in Woburn. Yeah. And as we're driving back, we see a billboard, I think somewhere in Reading, and it says that the Patriots are now winning. We're like, what the fuck?
And was it because? I mean, have we established a pattern here? Is it because you and Becky stopped watching?
I don't know, but in both instances, when they had been losing and we stopped watching, they somehow managed to come back and win. So I'm assuming like 2 weeks.
2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now, the Super Bowl is happening. If we are watching the game and if the Patriots are losing, we are going to turn it off.
Okay. What if they're winning?
But we'll continue to watch.
Okay, all right. Who you want in the? We got the Vikings and we got the whatchamahoosit as it stands right now. The Vikings and the
Eagles.
Who would you rather see?
Well, we beat the Eagles already in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we have.
That was back in 2004, I think. Right?
Yeah. Was that 2004?
2003, 2004? Something like that.
I think it was the Eagles was the last one of the first three.
Yeah, and then fucking Giants.
No, somehow. So it was 04, 05.
Okay.
Because 03, 04 was the
So the Red Sox had just won the World Series, and then the Patriots won another Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think the 03, 04 was the Carolina Panthers.
Okay.
I think that's what it was. Why won't it tell me the fucking score? Oh shit, dog. It's 24-7 Philly over Minnesota. See, I want the Vikings to win, and here's why I want the Vikings to win, Steve.
Do you think they're a worse team?
No. Because the Super Bowl is taking place in Minneapolis, in Minnesota. So if the Vikings somehow find a way to beat the Eagles, which looks not likely at this point.
Well, we're not watching it. I'm not watching it, but I know the score. I need to watch it for a second and then not watch it.
So if the Vikings make it, the Vikings will get to play in their home stadium for the Super Bowl, which I gather has never happened. And the reason I want that is because then one of two things will happen. Either the Vikings will win at home, and I think they haven't won in a long time, right? Or the Patriots will win, and everyone will hate us even more because the Vikings are the home team in their own building. They could win the Super Bowl, and we still beat them, and the country would just hate us even more. Because at this point, the country's not going to stop hating us. I want more reason for just all the reasons.
The thing is, like when I turned the game off, I wasn't upset. I wasn't like, we're not going to win. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't want to watch the team that I like lose. I just shut it off. But like, I wasn't like, oh my God, this is...
No, I if they had lost today, I would have been bummed, but I wouldn't have been, it wouldn't have been as upset.
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
You know what? Great. Jacksonville Jaguars, a new team, young kid. Great. I was a little pissed off that one of their players went headhunting for our best receiver, but anyway, like, if they had won, great. I don't have any personal grudge against them. They're not Indianapolis. They're not Denver. You know, they're not Pittsburgh.
Yeah, because they're all... Oh, wait. We are still in our division. Never mind.
So, like... And so, similarly, if we are in the Super Bowl against...
Philadelphia?
No, against the Vikings, and the Vikings were to win, I would be like, all right, I'm fucking bummed that we lost, but you know what? The Vikings won at home. Whereas if it's the Eagles, I'm like...
I thought the whole point of having the Super Bowl like at somebody else's stadium, like not having a home field advantage kind of thing, was it because like they wanted it to be in a warm place.
Yes.
Fucking Minnesota in February is not a fucking warm place.
No, and they've started doing this over the last few years. Like,
why don't they just have it like where the home field has the fucking advantage?
Well, in that case, Minnesota has a dome. It's only dome. Generally speaking,
it's still going to be cold as shit there. It's hard to heat a fucking domed stadium when it's 50 fucking below outside.
I'm not disagreeing with you, Steve. Maybe.
I'm just angry. Now I'm angry. I'm not angry about the Patriots possibly losing. I'm angry about fucking bullshit idiot NFL that doesn't pay any fucking taxes.
You can find the show notes for this episode, such as they are, because it's Sunday night and I don't really want to do any, at clarkwoods.com/hot/182. And if you have anything to say to us about this episode, you can email us. We're
no.
Sorry, it's been a while since I did that.
Someone just yank your crank there.
We're hot at clarkwoods.com. That's our email address.
Hot at clarkwoods.com.
Hot at clarkwoods.com. Clark at hotwoods.com.
No, don't fucking confuse them like I used to.
Or you can tweet us. I'm at ECC1977.
And I'm at Tuesday is Loser, and that's Tuesday IS Loser. All one word, motherfucker.
Do you want me to stop saying you can tweet us? That way you don't have to ever check?
I mean, I you know, if I hadn't looked at it today, I wouldn't have seen that fun picture of
I know which one you're talking about,
of the people in Philadelphia greasing up, or like the cops in Philadelphia greasing up light poles, so people didn't climb them after the victory.
Yeah, well, you know, what are they greasing up in Minnesota, do you think?